Hey, hi, how are you? This is Ben Harris, astrologer, and we're going to talk tonight about the planet Uranus. Now, I'm sure most of you think that the planet Uranus is like the other planets, Mars and Jupiter, lifeless, uninhabitable. But if you go to YouTube and type in the search box, Ben A. Harris, there's 120 videos there. Go to the newest ones. 5 brand new videos on the planet Uranus, which is a heavily populated planet. We can get into a little about it. And I think there's about 30 or so on Mars. There's 40 of them are already 5-star red, which means they're excellent according to YouTube, which is a tough bunch. But basically what they show on Mercury, Mars, Venus, the moons of Saturn, the moons of Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter, and now Uranus, civilized planets with human life. Human life not always being predominant, but on Uranus it does seem to be predominant. My guess, from what I've seen, and I suggest you see the latest 5 Uranus videos that I did, it seems Germanic, Nordic, and my guess would be, and flying saucers everywhere, my guess would be that the flying saucers that aided Hitler were from Uranus. It's Nazi-like. I have some pictures of what looks like a guard, Nazi-like. Picture of a guy painted on the side of a mountain, looks like Hitler with that crazy hairdo. So that's Uranus, and it's getting ready to make a station into another sign. It's going to go into the sign of Aries, which is brand new beginnings, but it still has to pass its obstacle of Saturn as it moves back into Virgo, which is bookkeeping procedures. Just take a look at what's happening in the Congress. They just took the money. They just gave them 3 pages to the Congress and said, here, give us $7 trillion or whatever it is just to transfer the wealth. They're right here really quick before George gets home to Texas. And they got away with it. They lackeyd in their boy Obama, who hired all the same guys, Council on Foreign Relations and that entire bunch. He brought them in. And they will be the demise of all of us. That's right. And so let's get into a little more about Uranus. First of all, it seems to be in a redevelopment area. And there's old buildings and chalets and houses that really appear to be like German Bavarian chalets. And right next to them, they're building on the bluffs huge white quartz-like buildings, and now NASA has smudged them, but they smudged them so uniformly it's obvious to tell what they are. And then you can also see the edges, and you can really be sure they're buildings. There's pipes coming out of the tops, and so NASA, whoever they hired to smudge the buildings, is deliberately doing a bad job. I think deliberately. His spirit's probably in touch with his spirit. All right, so some of the other things that I want to tell you about them is that the video footage that I was able to disassemble and unfilter showed desert-like setting, a kind of sparse planet. From what I've seen, you know, this is probably one area of it. And there's cluster-like villages, like today's idea of the non-conforming real estate. These cluster buildings, and I think the cities are built around these clustered buildings. The pictures that I could get clearly, the young people appear to be Nordic, or even Greek, or Italian. I got one fellow with a kind of an odd Pablo Picasso modern art hat, and a bunch of students would look to be like in front of a blackboard. He was on a hillside next to some of those newer white buildings. He looked to be about 4 or 5 feet tall. Small, French type of character, and would look to be students. Could be wrong, but that's what it looked like. Another nun-like woman scurrying along with a nun type of hat, and another guy dressed up like a bishop, and he had sort of like one of those Catholic weird bishop hats on. And he was kind of bizarre looking, staring into the camera. The reason so many people are looking in these NASA videos is because here comes this big huge rocket making all this noise, and they're looking up to see what it is, and luckily I've bored down into those NASA videos that have been smudged and covered over with dye and pulled out images of people on every single planet, buildings. Once you see this, your subconscious will be reformed, and you'll see all of a sudden that the entire universe is rife with humans and lots of giants. Now about the planet Uranus, right now it's in the sign of Pisces. So for Aries, that's the subconscious, that's the ability to make things happen with the mind. So it's very important to stay positive for Aries. And for Taurus, that would be in the place of objectives, which means keep clear, keep organized on what it is you're trying to do. And Gemini, that's going to be the 10th house. That's your career. And right now, Geminis are being pushed toward any area of show business. So you might want to be, looking at that. Cancer, the little pigs of the zodiac, that's going to be a trine with Cancer, 9th house. Good time to travel, learn, work with the dreams. Leo, 8th house, perk up the sex life, maybe an inheritance. Some kind of deal you're working on will have a good pay, and that should work out pretty good. Virgo, Saturn finally leaves, goes into the 2nd house in an exaltation, so Virgo could be making quite a bit of money and really learning to express their feelings, which is hard for that sign. Libra, you have an exaltation of Saturn right in your sign. Time to step forward and grab the banner. And Scorpio, that's another trine, 5th house, 9th house, so that would be good for just plain having a good time. Show business, videos like this, anything to do with having fun, dealing with the public and kids. And Sagittarius, that's a square, and it means take care of the house, the real estate, look into your mother's health. Capricorn, they're receiving Pluto, which is they're becoming grist for the mill that they painted and built. Aquarius, Uranus is in the 2nd house, time to use your genius to make money, eat apples. Pisces, Uranus is right there, time to express your genius, take it out of the area of religion, stay off the little white line. And that's it for the predictions of Uranus. It'll be moving into Aries, where everything will change. It'll be conjoined with Jupiter, and that will truly be new beginnings, even with the opposition to the exalted Saturn. This, in April of next year to June, will be new beginnings for all of us. Hey, I hope you enjoyed. Gotta go.